Hello students, this is just a quick demo of how we do those interlocking pieces like we've done in the past on Tinkercad. So I have this shape and I'm just pretending I'm gonna have some design and I'm gonna make it interlocking just like we've done it before on Tinkercad. So we have these two pieces. You see the one side's notched on the bottom and the other piece was notched on the top there. All right. So let's jump back over to this sketch, and you shouldn't be copying me. This is your design right now, so this is uh, just a basic guideline of how to do this. So you probably want to start out making whatever your design is. So I got this little snowman or BB-8 or whatever you want to think of it as right now. This is your design though. And then we're going to come up here to center point rectangle, or any rectangle really, and we're going to put this notch in there. I'm using a center point rectangle because it's going to allow me to center this rectangle really easily on my little snowman BB-8 thingy shape here. So I'm clicking and notice I'm centered. If you don't want this to be centered, you want it to be off-centered, you can use a normal rectangle and whatever you like there. The important thing here is that we dimension this using this dimension button here. This thickness, right, oop, I clicked that, all right. This thickness here is very, very important. We need that to be the thickness of the wood. The wood we're using right now, at least, is 0.125 or 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to be this little skinny region right there. And once you have that notch in there, if you're only doing one notch, one interlocking piece, that's going to be good. The rest of your design's good. So we're going to say, okay. Now we're going to make this 3D. We're going to extrude this. And when we extrude this, we want only this region here, right? That looks like the right shape. And then it's important to make this the thickness of the wood. Again, this 0.125, we're going to be using several times here. All right? So that thickness of the wood is very important. If it's some other material, you're going to have to use a different number there. All right, and let's take a quick look at this. Before we move on, we can see that we have our kind of shape with that first notch in there. So let's start on the next step here. So the next step is we're going to want another shape that's coming in and filling this notch and then kind of coming up here. So I'm going to look at it from a little bit of an angle and zoom in here so I can see this little rectangle right there, because we're going to want that. So what I'm going to push is new sketch, and I'm making a second sketch. And when it's asking me for a sketch plane, I'm going to say click on this little flat surface right in there. And don't worry about how big that little box shows up as, but now I'm going to look at that from this other angle. And I can start drawing whatever shape I want here, right? So if I want another circle right lined up there, I can say, look at that. That's that hidden spot right in there. I can make another circle here if I want, or you can make whatever shape you want here. If you wanted another snowman kind of thing here, I knew that that was 3 inches from before. So you can kind of do that shape if you like. This can be any shape you want right now. I'm going to leave it up to you. This is your design, right? You are not making a snowman right now. You're probably making some other design. This could be some just goofy, crazy shape, right? It can be anything you want right now. And you probably want the bottom part to be somewhat lined up, but I'll leave that up to you. If you got some other crazy ideas going on, have some fun. But this can be any shape you want. It needs to be a closed shape, as I think we've learned in the past, that it needs to be filled in with gray. If it's not filled in with gray like this, it's not going to work for us. Once you got your shape and you like the looks of it and whatever it's going to be, you're going to push OK. And now let's look at this from a little bit of a different angle so we can kind of see this a little better as we do this. We're going to extrude this second piece again. and we're going to click on this. And when you click on that, you can kind of see here, it's not choosing this notch here either. So to see this even better, I'm going to hide this first piece, this first part. I can always make it come back, but we want to select that area too. And there you can see it kind of fills in. It's a nice solid piece there. Don't worry about the notch quite yet. We will get to that in a second. But this, again, has to be the same thickness as the material, that number we keep using of 1/8, 0.125, same thing. And I'm going to say OK. And you see it's got this nice thin piece here now. I'm going to unhide my other piece. And yeah, I know it doesn't look like a snowman, but I'm just doing a little demo here for you. This is your design of whatever else thing you want to do. So here's the final step to making the notch in this piece. We're going to come up to this thing that looks like a Venn diagram. It's called Boolean. So Boolean is this tool that's going to kind of do some 3D cutting for us. So we're going to say subtract because we want to subtract some material. We want to take away some material from this gray piece to put that notch in there. So I'm going to click on subtract. And it's giving me two different things it's going to need here, right? It's going to need the tool, what's going to be doing the cutting, and the target, what is going to get cut. So the tool is this blue piece that's going to cut, and the target, what's getting cut, is this piece that does not have the notch in it yet. I'm clicking on that one, and you'll see it's going to hide that for a second and say, oh, that's what you're going to get. Does that look good to you? If it doesn't look like that and it's not giving you the notch that you want, try switching these around or playing around with those. And then also, before we click OK, right now, this grayed out piece, it's going to delete that and make it go away. So if you want to keep that piece, which you do in this case, you're going to say keep tool. So that's going to keep that piece and it will not delete that. So when you push OK, you should now have two interlocking pieces in 3 dimensions here. And it's thinking really hard here. But if I hide one, you can see that one's got its notch. You can click on the other one and hide it. And you can see that one's got its notch so that those can be exported now. So in the past, we've done exporting based on sketches. Just a reminder, if you haven't done this yet, when we have 3D pieces like this and you don't have a sketch that's actually the right shape, like this sketch is not giving us that notch that's in there, if I just highlight this surface and I right click or 2-finger click, I can come up here to export as DXF, and it's going to export everything that you saw in as highlighted in orange here. So again, when we're doing this mode, we want to, it's really thinking hard here, this pinwheel. We want to hover over what we want to export. You see everything there is in orange that I want. So I'm right or 2-finger clicking or right clicking and exporting as DXF. All those same rules apply. When this pops up, you are going to export as a DXF. Hope this helps you have some fun doing some interlocking stuff. Enjoy, and